Have you ever met someone who just got you? Someone who made you feel completely understood, like you could drop the mask, be yourself, and finally stop trying so hard? That kind of connection isn't just rare, it's unforgettable. It's the feeling that keeps someone thinking about you long after you've left the room. Now here's the truth you need to understand. Most men struggle to create that kind of bond, not because they're not smart enough, good-looking enough, or charming enough, but because they're focused on all the wrong things. They talk too much, trying to impress. They stick to shallow conversations. Or worse, they avoid emotional depth altogether, afraid of looking weak. Meanwhile, there are men who don't chase, don't try too hard, yet women are drawn to them. Why? It's not about what they say, it's about who they are. Deep connection isn't something you force, it's something you become. And when you build the right presence, mindset, and energy, women feel it. They can't explain why, but they want to be around you. They want to open up. They want to connect with you in a way they don't with anyone else. And that's exactly what we're going to unlock today. If you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting, let's dive in. One of the biggest mistakes men make: being there, but not really there. You know what I mean. You're on a date, she's talking, and instead of truly listening, your mind is somewhere else. Maybe you're thinking about what to say next. Maybe you're distracted by your phone. Maybe you're caught up in your own thoughts, nodding along but not feeling the moment. And she knows. Women are intuitive. They don't just hear your words, they feel your energy. If you're distracted, if you're only half listening, if you're just waiting for your turn to talk, she senses it. And the moment she feels unseen, unheard, or unimportant, she disconnects. Not because she wants to, but because deep down she craves something real. A Stoic man, he understands the power of presence. He's not lost in the past or anxiously living in the future. He's here, right now. He listens, not just to reply, but to understand. And because of that, when he's with a woman, she feels it. She feels the depth of his attention, the steadiness of his presence, like an anchor in a chaotic world. And that is rare. Most conversations today are just noise. People talking over each other, waiting for their turn to speak, distracted by 100 things at once. But when you can be the one man who truly listens, who looks her in the eyes and makes her feel like she's the only person in the room, she feels the difference. She leans in. She opens up. She starts to trust you. So here's the challenge. The next time you're with a woman, be there. Put your phone away. Slow down. Listen, not just to her words, but to her emotions. Look at her, not like a guy waiting for his turn to speak, but like a man who sees her, who values who she is. Because when you do that, you won't have to chase connection. It will happen naturally. Being fully present is the first step. But presence alone isn't enough, because if your emotions are all over the place, she won't feel safe opening up to you. A woman doesn't just want a man who listens. She wants a man who can hold space for her. A man who is steady, unshaken, grounded. Someone she can lean on without worrying that he'll collapse under pressure. And that's where emotional strength comes in. Look, life is unpredictable. Stress, jealousy, setbacks, they happen, but the way you respond to them, that's what separates a man she respects from a man she tolerates. If you crumble under stress, if you lash out when things don't go your way, if you let emotions control you instead of the other way around, she feels that instability. And instability breeds doubt. Doubt about whether she can trust you. Doubt about whether she wants to connect with you on a deeper level. But a man who is emotionally strong, he doesn't let the chaos of the world dictate his mood. He doesn't need constant validation. He doesn't get rattled over small things. He understands that while he can't control everything that happens, he can always control how he reacts. And that makes a woman feel safe. And no, this doesn't mean shutting down your emotions or pretending you don't feel anything. That's not strength, that's avoidance. Emotional strength means mastering your emotions. Feeling them, but not being controlled by them. Responding with clarity, not reacting with chaos. Imagine this. She's had a rough day. She's overwhelmed. She just needs to vent. She's not looking for you to solve all her problems. She doesn't need advice. She needs to know that you can handle her emotions without making them about you. If you get impatient, defensive, or uncomfortable, she won't feel safe opening up. But if you just listen, acknowledge what she's feeling, and remain composed, she'll start to trust you. And trust is the foundation of real connection. Because at the end of the day, attraction isn't just about chemistry, it's about certainty. A woman needs to know that when things get tough, you won't crumble. That your strength isn't just for show, it's real. And when she sees that, she won't just be attracted to you, she'll respect you, she'll trust you, and she'll feel a connection to you that goes beyond words. Emotional strength makes a woman trust you. But trust alone isn't enough. You also need to keep her intrigued. And that's where most men go wrong. They think that if they spill everything about themselves, every thought, every feeling, every experience, she'll feel closer to them. But in reality, it has the opposite effect. It kills the mystery. It removes the excitement. It makes her feel like she's figured you out too soon. Think about your favorite TV show. What keeps you coming back episode after episode? It's not because they throw the entire story at you in one go. It's because they reveal things over time. The best characters don't lay all their cards on the table. They evolve, they surprise you, they make you want to keep watching. Attraction works the same way. A woman doesn't want to know everything about you right away. She wants to discover you, piece by piece. That's what makes it exciting. That's what keeps her thinking about you when you're not around. A Stoic man understands this. He doesn't flood a woman with his thoughts and emotions, hoping to prove his worth. He lets things unfold naturally. He knows that silence can be just as powerful as words. He's not hiding who he is. He's simply not rushing to give everything away. And no, this doesn't mean playing games or being distant just to keep her guessing. It means moving with intention. It means allowing moments of anticipation. It means letting her wonder. Because when a woman feels like there's always more to discover about you, she won't be able to stop thinking about you. Mystery keeps her intrigued, but if you really want to captivate her, you have to go beyond just attraction. You have to challenge her mind. Most men rely on surface-level conversations. How was your day? What do you do for work? They're safe, predictable, instantly forgettable. And that's the problem. Because when a woman doesn't feel anything from a conversation, she moves on. But the men she remembers, they make her think. They ask the kind of questions that pull her out of autopilot and make her pause. They invite her into a deeper exchange, one that sparks curiosity, emotion, and connection. Instead of asking the same generic questions every other guy asks, try this. What's one experience that changed the way you see the world? If you could live in any time period, which one would you choose? What's something you believe that most people disagree with? These kinds of questions do two things. First, they stand out because most people don't ask them. Second, they make her feel something. They push her to reflect. They bring out parts of her that she may not often share. And that creates depth. That creates connection. A Stoic man knows that deep conversation isn't about showing off intelligence, it's about curiosity. He doesn't just ask for the sake of asking, he listens with presence. He isn't trying to impress, he's genuinely interested. And paradoxically, that makes him even more attractive. Because when a woman senses that you're not just filling silence with words, but actually engaged in the moment with her, she won't just enjoy talking to you. She'll crave those conversations. She'll think about them long after they're over. She'll wonder what it is about you that feels different. And that's the difference between being just another guy and being unforgettable. Deep conversations make a woman feel connected to you. But if you're always around, always available, always chasing, she won't need to seek you out. And if she never feels your absence, she won't desire your presence. Most men think that giving a woman more attention will make her like them more. They text constantly, they say yes to every plan, they drop everything the moment she calls. But when something is always there, it's easy to take for granted. It becomes predictable, expected, ordinary. But the men who create lasting attraction, they understand the power of space. They don't chase, they live. They have goals, passions, a life that excites them beyond just a woman's attention. And because of that, when they are with her, they bring something new, something alive, something she wants more of. A Stoic man isn't unavailable because he's playing games. He's unavailable because he has a purpose. His world doesn't revolve around her. And paradoxically, that is what draws her in. Think about it like fire. If you smother a flame, it dies. But if you feed it properly and give it space to breathe, it burns brighter. Attraction works the same way. If you're always within reach, she never has the chance to miss you. But when you step back, not as a tactic, but as a byproduct of the life you're building, she feels that space. And in that space, desire grows. So don't be the man who's waiting for her next text, obsessing over when to call, rearranging his life to fit hers. Be the man who is so focused on his own journey, so engaged in his own growth, that she wants to be part of it. Not because you begged, not because you played hard to get, but because your energy is undeniable. Space creates desire, but it's confidence that makes her want to stay. Because at the end of the day, a woman doesn't want a man who needs her approval. She wants a man who already knows his worth. Most men think confidence is about being loud, showing off, or proving something. But true confidence, it's quiet. It doesn't beg for attention. It commands it. It's the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you move through the world without hesitation. A woman can feel when a man is unsure of himself, when he second-guesses everything, when he constantly looks to her for reassurance. And when she senses that uncertainty, she can't fully trust you to lead. And if she can't trust you to lead, she won't feel that deeper connection. But a man who is rooted in himself, he doesn't seek validation, he radiates it. He moves with certainty, he decides without overanalyzing, he speaks without needing approval. And that energy, it's magnetic. She feels safe around it, drawn to it, intrigued by it. And no, this isn't about controlling or dominating. It's about being secure in who you are. A Stoic man doesn't let outside opinions shake him. He doesn't try to win a woman over because he knows he brings value. He knows that his presence alone is enough. So stop apologizing for who you are. Stop hesitating before making a decision. Stop waiting for permission to own your space. Because the moment you step into your true confidence, without arrogance, without seeking approval, she feels it. And that's when attraction moves from something temporary to something unshakable. Confidence isn't about saying more, it's about needing to say less. Because the more a man talks just to fill space, the more he reveals his uncertainty. Most men talk too much, not because they have something valuable to say, but because they're trying to impress, trying to prove themselves, trying to make sure there's never an awkward silence. Remember, silence isn't awkward. It's powerful. A Stoic man understands that words should serve a purpose. He doesn't speak just to hear his own voice, he speaks with intention. He knows that sometimes the most captivating thing he can do isn't talking, it's listening. Think about the people who truly command respect. The leaders. The men who walk into a room say little, but when they do speak, everyone leans in. It's not because they talk the most, it's because they talk the least, but with the most meaning. Their words carry weight. And that's what makes a woman feel something. When you don't rush to fill every pause, when you take a second before responding, when you listen, not to respond, but to understand. That simple shift changes everything. So the next time you're with a woman, resist the urge to over-explain yourself. Don't try to convince her of your worth. Show it through your presence. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Because a man who speaks only when it matters, he's the kind of man she remembers. A man who speaks with intention commands attention. But a man who lives with intention? That's the kind of man a woman can't ignore. Because the truth is, no woman wants to be your purpose. She wants to be part of your adventure. She wants to feel like she's stepping into a life that's already exciting, not one that's waiting around for her to give it meaning. And yet most men do the opposite. They revolve their entire world around her. They drop their passions, neglect their goals, and make getting the girl their main focus. But when a man needs a woman to feel fulfilled, she feels that weight, and it pushes her away. The most attractive men? They don't chase. They build. They have a vision for their life that goes beyond relationships. They are so deeply engaged in their own journey, whether it's their career, their fitness, their passions, that when a woman enters their world, she feels drawn to it. Not because he's asking her to stay, but because his energy is magnetic. A Stoic man doesn't seek validation, he embodies it. His confidence comes from the fact that he's already fulfilled. His time is valuable, not because he's playing hard to get, but because he's actually busy building something meaningful. And that is what makes a woman crave to be part of his life. So instead of making her the center of your world, focus on creating a world so full, so rich, so compelling that she wants to be part of it. Not because you need her there, but because she feels that being with you means stepping into something bigger. Because when you truly love the life you're building, she won't just want to be with you, she'll fight to stay. A man who is fully present, emotionally strong, confident, and living with purpose naturally creates attraction. But if you truly want to deepen that connection, there's one thing that speaks louder than words: touch. Physical touch is powerful, but only when it's done right. The difference between a touch that sparks connection and one that feels forced is intention. Most men either overdo it, constantly touching, seeking validation, trying to rush intimacy, or they avoid it completely, afraid of making the wrong move. But a Stoic man, he understands balance. He never touches out of neediness. He doesn't use touch to fill space. He touches with purpose. A light touch on her back as you guide her through a door. A brief touch on her arm as you share a moment of laughter. A A slow, deliberate handshake that lingers just long enough to leave an impression. Small, effortless moments. But each one says more than words ever could. Because touch should never be something you take. It should be something that feels earned. When a woman respects you, when she feels safe with you, when she's drawn to you, touch happens naturally. You don't have to force it. You don't have to think about it. It just flows. And here's the real secret. When you withhold touch at the right moments, it makes her crave it even more. If you can be close to her, deeply connected, without immediately reaching out, she feels that restraint, that quiet confidence, that sense that you're not just touching for the sake of touching, you're waiting for the right moment. And when that moment comes, it means something. So stop thinking about touch as something you need to get from her. Instead, focus on how you make her feel. If she trusts you, if she respects you, if she's drawn to your energy, she'll want that connection just as much as you do. And when that happens, even the smallest touch will leave a lasting impression. Touch creates connection, but what truly makes a woman trust you, what makes her feel safe in a way she can't even explain, is how you handle problems. Because life is unpredictable. Things will go wrong. And whether you realize it or not, she's watching how you respond. Do you get frustrated when plans fall apart? Do you blame others when things don't go your way? Do you panic, complain, or let stress consume you? If so, she feels that instability. And instability breeds doubt. Doubt about whether she can rely on you. Doubt about whether you're the kind of man who can lead through the chaos of life. But a Stoic man? He doesn't crumble. He doesn't let emotions control him. He understands that while he can't control everything that happens, he can always control how he responds. And that ability to stay calm, to stay grounded, to find a solution instead of getting lost in frustration, that's what makes her feel safe. Imagine you're out with her and something goes wrong. The restaurant loses your reservation. The weather ruins your plans. Someone spills a drink on your shirt. In that moment, she's not just seeing what happens, she's feeling the energy you project. Do you sigh in frustration? Complain about your bad luck? Let the mood spiral downward? Or do you shrug it off, crack a joke, and adapt? The men who truly captivate women aren't the ones who try to impress with perfection. They're the ones who remain unshaken when things don't go as planned. Because that steadiness, that quiet confidence, it's rare. And when she sees that nothing rattles you, that you don't let stress turn into drama, she feels something deeper than attraction. She feels trust. And trust is the foundation of everything. So the next time life throws a curveball, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, is this moment a test? Because it is. A test of your character, your control, and how she sees you. And when she sees that nothing shakes you, she won't just want to be with you, she'll want to stay. Handling problems with calmness and clarity shows her that you're a man she can rely on. But true connection? That only happens when she feels safe with you. Not just physically, but emotionally. Attraction alone isn't enough. If she can't trust you, if she doesn't feel a sense of stability in your presence, she'll always keep part of herself guarded. And when a woman has to stay guarded around you, she can't fully connect with you. Most men think trust is just about honesty, but it's deeper than that. It's about consistency. If you're erratic, needy, or emotionally unpredictable, she won't feel safe opening up to you. If one day you're confident and composed, and the next you're insecure and reactive, she won't know which version of you she's getting. And that uncertainty, it makes her pull away. But a Stoic man? He's steady, he's composed, He doesn't crumble under pressure. He doesn't overreact when things don't go his way. And that stability, it makes her exhale. It makes her relax into your presence, knowing that she doesn't have to be on edge, knowing that she can trust you to handle life's challenges without falling apart. Imagine she's had a stressful day. She's overwhelmed, emotional, maybe even a little distant. If you panic, if you start overanalyzing, if you get frustrated that she's not giving you attention, she'll feel like she has to manage your emotions on top of her own. But if you stay calm, if you listen instead of trying to fix, if you let her be without demanding anything in return, that's when she starts to trust you on a deeper level. Because when a woman feels safe with you, she lets go. She stops holding back. She stops questioning whether she can be herself around you. And that's when real connection begins. Not because you forced it, not because you chased it, but because you created the kind of presence that made her want to open up. And that's what makes a woman truly want to be with you. Not just in the moment, but in a way that lasts. Deep connection isn't built through effort alone. It's built through presence, purpose, and inner strength. When you master yourself, becoming calm, grounded, and secure in your worth, you won't need to chase connection. It will find you. Women are drawn to a man who stands firm in who he is, someone who doesn't cling, doesn't crumble, and doesn't seek validation. Instead, he moves with quiet confidence, leads with presence, and lives with purpose. So stop striving to impress. Focus on becoming steady in a world full of noise. Build emotional strength. Cultivate a life that excites you. And when you do, connection will follow naturally, effortlessly. Stay strong, stay grounded, and remember, master yourself and the rest will follow. Thanks for being with Stoic Heart on this journey today. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos. We'd love to hear your thoughts or suggestions for future topics, so drop a comment below. See you in the next video.